Hello, everyone. This is all quite surreal. I'm going to do it now. The old Italian chef's fingers. Going to get that out of the way now. It feels about -8. Apparently it's April, and Norwich have just won 7-0 and basically won the championship, let's be honest. It felt like after the way the results panned out following the draw at Preston in the last minute, that maybe that was creating a really kind of key moment in the season, a moment where Norwich could really grab the situation and stick their name all over it. And I think it's safe to say they've done that today. I'm stood in the Jeffrey Watling stand. I've just noticed, by the way, I don't know if this is going to come across, there's cobwebs on the chairs where they haven't been moved. So I'm going to move them because quite clearly this place is ready and waiting for you guys to come back as and when. Yeah, clearly it's a shame you're missing all this, but it's happening, and I hope you got to sit down and watch it on the telly and take it in, because it was I was thinking about this actually. I've already had a message on Twitter saying, "Oh, can't wait to see a video verdict." And this is hard, because I mean, how do you even do this justice? I mean, literally, we've just come off the press conference from all of it, and I expect you're going to want lots of really articulate thoughts. But I mean, you have to break it down. I felt early on in the game that Huddersfield seemed to have quite a well-structured press, but they looked quite open. And I mean, Norwich were 5-0 up at half-time, and it was clear from quite early in that first half that Norwich looked like they were going to score every time they went forward, and they were just overrunning Huddersfield defence without the ball. Huddersfield worked without the ball. I mean, they ran around a lot, they were energetic, and they pressed, but it was pretty futile because it was quite easy to get around, and then there were just massive gaps, and they just left these huge just sways, and Norwich overrun them, and they also put it together with some very tidy finishing, but it would be no over exaggeration or exaggeration even to suggest that Norwich probably could have hit double figures with ease tonight. It should have been 8 in the final minute. The quality of Norwich's attacking play in the spaces that they were given by Huddersfield, and that's obviously, Norwich can't do anything about what they're given. They can only do that against whatever they're coming up against. But the way Norwich scored their goals was just wonderful. Timo Pukki scored a wonderful hat-trick, which he completed via the penalty spot after Ollie Skip ran about 80 yards with the ball. And that was a really well-taken penalty. It was Timo Pukki's second hat-trick for the club, his first since the Newcastle United home win in the Premier League on Norwich's return, something that it looks like they will be doing again for next season. I thought the goal where Emi Buendia and Kieran Dow linked up was exceptional. Todd Cantwell's finish was sublime. There were so many good moments and so many goals. Jordan Hugill's goal in the second half was a really well-worked move. The ball that Emi Buendia played for Timo Pukki's second, I think it was a sort of out of this world. Grant Hanley just walking away there. It was his 100th appearance for the club, so he did his bit. Thought Andrew Omobamidele produced the ideal follow-up today. It was clearly a game that laid itself, created that decent platform for him to do that. But there were two occasions when he mopped up really cleverly and quickly, when I thought a few other people switched off around him. And again, visibly grew in confidence as the game wore on. Started stepping out with the ball, started playing slightly more intricate passes sort of midway through the first half. Just more of a player that looks comfortable. And Daniel Farke spent, Norwich won 7-0. I thought their effort was it won't get maybe the headlines, but the relentlessness of their play and desire in the last 5 minutes of being 7-0 up was something else. The work rate, even at that point, just terrific. Daniel Farke literally keeping Andrew Bamadelli on the pitch for the last, for 5 minutes after the full-time whistle, to have a chat with him about something that kind of riled him within a few minutes of the final whistle. I mean, that's an exceptional level of attention to detail and standard that kind of underpins a lot of what's helped Norwich turn things around from what was such a desperate Premier League season. And I'm already getting asked questions about what next season looks like. I don't really want to think about it yet. But we are nearly there now. Norwich are on 87 points. I've always felt 90 points does it. So there's that. But I think at this point now, I've got to try and remember it off the top of my head, but I think Brentford are 17 points behind and Swansea are 18 points behind, and they can both only get a maximum of 21 points. And then Watford are kind of irrelevant for now, but I think they're plenty behind themselves. So essentially, I think if Swansea and Brentford both fail to win on the weekend, and then Norwich win against Derby, I think that's it. And it probably isn't mathematical, but as near as if Norwich draw in those circumstances. So they are pretty close now to going up. And I think you couldn't really argue with tonight's evidence in terms of them looking every bit the part that they have done for a while, and this sort of result has been coming. They've looked like being capable of thrashing someone if they got everything together. And sadly for Huddersfield, they were the ones on the receiving end. They will be more coherent against other sides, providing they don't let this harm them and hamper them too badly. And I think it was interesting, Carlos Corberán, the way he sort of said that they had a plan. He kept trying to change it and nothing worked, and he apologised. And obviously it'll be a difficult day for Huddersfield, but I think they do need the context of there's an element of timing and just not really being able to do anything about it against a Norwich team who clearly didn't like the idea that they just drawn at Preston, and kind of took it out on Huddersfield a bit. So yeah, what an exceptional evening to take in. Wonderful to see them play this kind of football. They are quite clearly a class apart and have been over the course of 40 games now. Some have done it over 10 and 15 and 20, but Norwich have done it pretty much all season, and it's been a joy to watch across the board tonight. I wouldn't want to pick out any star performers, but I thought there were plenty of players who really grabbed the game by the scruff of the net whenever they could. Obviously, Emi, Todd and Teemu looked like a class act as a trio, and it would be lovely to see them doing so in the Premier League. I think the way Kieran Dow linked the play today was really nice, and I really like that a lot. We had Max Aarons playing as a false number 2. Dimitris Giannoulis was back in as well and slotted in seamlessly, and he looks the class signing that I think I'd heard everyone hoped he would be when he arrived. As I said, it was a good goal by Jordan. And maybe one little thing in terms of Przemysław Pacheta, and I still don't think Norwich have quite worked out how to make them the best of him. He's doing good things, but no one seems to read them, and I think it'd be a bit of work there to get the most out of him. But that is in no ways the last point of this, because this was an exceptional night, a historic night in many ways, in terms of I've not seen Norwich win 7-0 here for a while, and they're nearly there. So I will see you at Pride Park, where the pitch is apparently horrendous, on Saturday. They are, Derby, the only team to beat Norwich here at Carrow Road so far this season. We'll see if maybe Norwich can return the favour. There's a remarkable stat from Steve about, I think Norwich have only lost, I think it's 2.5 years to the day since Norwich lost to anyone other than Derby in the Championship. It would be a fitting way to seal the deal, but it doesn't matter now. Norwich are close enough to sort it out one way or the other in the end. And that's a wonderful place to be. Enjoy the rest of your weeks, whatever day it is. I hope it's warmer by the weekend, and I'll see you up in Derby on Saturday. In the meantime, check out The Athletic. There'll be lots of fun stuff off the back of this wonderful win and where Norwich are. And here's to the remaining 6 games. I'm sure it'll be fun. See you later.